Have you ever talked to someone who made you doubt your own memory or feel guilty without knowing why? That's not a coincidence. It's a tactic. Manipulators don't always shout, accuse, or insult. The smartest ones just ask questions. Questions that twist reality until you start defending yourself instead of seeing the truth. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone can upset you, realize that you've given them power over your mind." That's the game they play, stealing your clarity, not your possessions. But Stoicism gives you the armor they can't penetrate: awareness, reason, and self-control. Because when you learn to see through manipulation, you stop being its victim. Today, we'll expose 7 questions liars use to control your emotions, and how a Stoic answers every single one. Stay until the end, and comment, "I see the signs." Before we dive into the 7 manipulative questions, let's get one thing straight. Manipulation isn't about lying, it's about control. A liar's goal isn't to convince you of their story, it's to make you question your own. Most manipulators don't yell or insult. They guide the conversation with questions that seem innocent, but every word is a rope tightening around your clarity. When you start defending, explaining, or proving yourself, you're already playing their game on their terms. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you that disturbs you, but your opinion about it." That's the essence of Stoicism. To master your interpretation before the world manipulates it. When someone uses words to twist your emotions, remember this: they're not searching for truth. They're scanning for entry points, weaknesses they can exploit to steer your thoughts. They don't want a conversation, they want control. So here's your Stoic defense system: simple, unshakable, and battle-tested through centuries. See? Notice the shift. Feel the moment when a question doesn't sit right. Awareness is the first shield. Breathe. Take one calm breath before responding. Composure breaks their rhythm. Think. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, it doesn't deserve your energy. Detach. Respond with clarity, not emotion. Keep it short, factual, and firm. This is how a Stoic disarms manipulation, not by arguing louder, but by staying grounded while the other person loses balance. Because the manipulator feeds on reaction, not reason. When you stay calm, you starve them of power, and once you understand this, that your reaction is your domain, your fortress, no liar, no guilt trip, and no emotional trick can invade your peace again. 1. Are you sure you remember it right? This is the first and most common weapon of a manipulator. Gaslighting through doubt. They won't attack you directly. They'll softly plant a seed. Are you sure you remember it right? And just like that, they shift the entire balance of the conversation. The moment you start replaying events in your mind, trying to prove your memory, you've already lost ground. Because now, it's not about what happened. It's about defending your sanity. Gaslighters are masters of this subtle war. They know that if they can make you question your perception, they can rewrite reality. They'll smile while doing it. They'll say, "No, that's not what I said," or "You're overreacting again." Their tone is calm, almost caring, but it's the calm of a predator watching its prey panic. You begin to doubt yourself. Maybe you did remember it wrong. Maybe you are overreacting. That's how they gain control. Not through truth, but through confusion. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong, I will gladly change. For I seek the truth, not victory." Notice that? A Stoic never fears being wrong. Because truth is not a threat, it's a teacher. But manipulation isn't about truth, it's about power. So while the Stoic listens to reason, the manipulator weaponizes reason to make you surrender your confidence. Here's the Stoic way to reclaim it. Step 1. Name the tactic. When someone questions your memory, pause and say quietly to yourself, "This is doubt manipulation." Labeling the tactic takes away half its power. You see it instead of sinking into it. Step 2. Separate fact from narrative. Write down what you clearly remember. Actions, words, timestamps, emotions. Don't debate the story. Anchor yourself in observable details. Facts don't need validation. They just need clarity. Step 3. Hold your ground calmly. You don't have to convince them. You don't owe them proof. A simple response like, "That's what I remember," said with composure, is enough. Notice how it flips the energy. Suddenly, they scramble to justify their version. Step 4. Protect your reality. After a conversation like this, reflect. Write a short log of what was said and how you felt. This isn't paranoia, it's self-respect. A Stoic keeps a clear record. Not to dwell on pain, but to defend the truth within. Remember, manipulators thrive in chaos. They want you emotional, reactive, and lost in doubt. They want you apologizing for things you didn't do, explaining things you never said, and questioning what you know you saw. But once you stay calm, once you stop reacting, the fog clears, and their power dissolves. In Stoicism, clarity is strength. When you own your perception, you own your peace. And when someone asks, "Are you sure you remember it right?" you can smile, breathe, and answer, "Yes, and even if my memory fades, my awareness doesn't." That's how a Stoic ends the game before it begins. Because truth doesn't tremble under pressure, only lies do. And no manipulator can twist the mind of someone who refuses to argue with distortion. Your peace is not up for negotiation. I trust patterns, not excuses. 2. Why are you so sensitive? This one cuts deeper because it attacks not your memory, but your emotions. When a manipulator feels cornered, they don't defend their behavior. They attack your reaction. They'll say it softly, maybe even with a half smile. "Why are you so sensitive?" In that instant, you shift from being the one who was hurt to being the one who's overreacting. It's a brilliant trap and a cruel one. They reframe the entire conversation to make your feelings look like the problem. But here's the Stoic truth. Sensitivity is not weakness. Awareness is not fragility. Feeling deeply doesn't mean you lack control. It means you're awake to what's real. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The Stoic doesn't suppress emotion. He governs it. He feels fully, but he decides calmly. When someone calls you too sensitive, what they're really saying is, "Your awareness makes me uncomfortable." They want to dull your perception because your clarity exposes their behavior, and they can't manipulate what they can't confuse. Here's how a Stoic breaks this trap. Step 1. Recognize the reversal. When you hear that phrase, stop and name what's happening. They're not describing you, they're deflecting from themselves. That awareness keeps you from taking the bait. Step 2. Anchor back to the action. Calmly redirect the focus. This isn't about being sensitive, it's about what was said. Short, neutral, grounded. This shifts the light back to the real issue without arguing emotion. Step 3. Refuse emotional guilt. You don't owe anyone an apology for having feelings. Stoicism never meant emotional numbness. It meant emotional sovereignty. You control how long the feeling stays, not whether it exists. Step 4. Reclaim the narrative silently. When they mock your empathy, remember, empathy is a form of intelligence. You see patterns others ignore. You notice energy others deny. That's not weakness, it's discernment. Epictetus taught, if someone provokes you, know that your judgment is the real trigger. So, when someone calls you too sensitive, don't argue. Just breathe, observe, and answer with calm authority. I'm not being sensitive, I'm being clear. That sentence disarms everything, because now you're not defending emotion, you're asserting awareness. And awareness is a battlefield manipulators can't win on. Remember this: people who dismiss your feelings fear accountability. They want silence, not resolution. But the Stoic doesn't silence truth to make others comfortable. He stays centered in it. The next time someone tries to weaponize your emotions, don't explain or retreat. Just hold your ground, breathe, and let your stillness speak. Because calm is louder than accusation. And in that calm, you'll find your real power. The power to see, to feel, and to stay unbroken. Your peace is your proof. 3. Don't you trust me? It sounds harmless, almost tender. But behind those 4 words hides one of the oldest manipulation tactics in existence: emotional blackmail through guilt. Don't you trust me? Isn't a question, it's a trap dressed as intimacy. When someone says it, what they're really saying is, prove your loyalty by silencing your instincts. They're not asking for trust. They're demanding compliance, and the moment you start explaining why you hesitated, the manipulation has already worked. A Stoic understands this pattern. Trust, in the Stoic sense, isn't a feeling you hand out freely. It's a judgment based on consistent action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can show me I'm mistaken, I'll change, for I seek truth, not victory." That's what real trust is. A shared commitment to truth, not a demand for blind faith. Manipulators, however, don't want truth. They want control disguised as connection. Here's how to handle this one like a Stoic warrior. Step 1. Slow down the guilt spiral. When they ask, "Don't you trust me?" Pause. Don't rush to defend yourself or soften the tension. Their power lies in your impulse to reassure. Instead, breathe and think, why do I need to answer this? Step 2. Redefine trust on your terms. You can calmly say, trust grows from actions, not pressure. That single sentence flips the dynamic completely. You're no longer in the position of proving loyalty. They are. And they usually don't like that. Step 3. Watch their reaction. A healthy person will respect that boundary. A manipulator will push harder, maybe act hurt or say you're paranoid. That's your proof. Stoicism teaches, character shows itself when it's denied control. Step 4. Protect your emotional independence. You owe no one blind belief. Trust without evidence is not love, it's surrender. And Stoicism rejects surrender to impulse, emotion, or another person's agenda. Seneca once wrote, "Confidence in another's honesty is no excuse for abandoning reason." That's your compass. If you must choose between pleasing someone or preserving your clarity, always choose clarity. Because real trust doesn't demand obedience, it invites transparency. So when someone tries to guilt you with, "Don't you trust me?" don't explain, defend, or debate. Simply respond with calm truth. Trust is built, not begged for. Then go silent. In that silence, they'll reveal themselves, either by respecting your boundary or exposing their intent. Either way, you win, because the Stoic doesn't chase proof or permission. He watches patterns, not promises. And when you live by that, no manipulator can twist your loyalty against you. Because trust isn't a gift. It's a reflection, and the reflection must be earned. Trust is earned, not demanded. 4. Why would I lie to you? It's one of the smoothest lines in the manipulator's playbook. They say it casually, with a hurt tone, maybe a little laughter, as if the idea itself is absurd. Why would I lie to you? And suddenly, you feel guilty for even doubting them. That's the trick. This question flips the burden of proof. You find yourself defending your right to question instead of asking them to prove their honesty. It's a psychological sleight of hand. And it works because it appeals to your empathy and your desire to believe in people. But Stoicism teaches that belief should never replace observation. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, look at what they do, not what they say. Words can disguise intent. Patterns expose it. A liar wants you to feel bad for noticing what's true. They rely on your conscience to protect their deception, and when you start second-guessing your instincts, you become easier to control. Here's how a Stoic dismantles that illusion. Step 1. Shift from emotion to evidence. When someone asks, "Why would I lie to you?" don't answer the question. Ask yourself instead, have their actions matched their words? Because honest people don't need theatrics. Consistency is their proof. Step 2. Stay calm and grounded. A manipulator thrives on your flustered defense. So, respond with calm neutrality. That's not for me to decide. Your actions will show. You just took the spotlight off their performance and put it on their behavior. That's where the truth lives. Step 3. Resist the pressure to reassure. They'll often follow up with silence or fake disappointment, hoping you'll fill the gap with apologies. Don't. A Stoic understands that peace is found in restraint. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. Let their discomfort reveal itself. Step 4. Document reality. Not drama. You don't need to argue or accuse. Just note what you've seen. When patterns of dishonesty repeat, you won't need to convince yourself anymore. Reality becomes self-evident. Epictetus said, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." A manipulator does the opposite. They speak first and hope you'll attach meaning for them. Your job is to detach from their performance, not interpret it. The truth doesn't fear scrutiny, only lies do. So when someone deflects with, "Why would I lie to you?" see it for what it is, a shield of theatrics hiding a fragile truth. Smile slightly, breathe slowly, and let silence hang heavier than any accusation. Because Stoic strength doesn't need to expose the liar. It only needs to refuse participation in the illusion. You don't need to argue. You don't need to prove you're right. Just watch their words fall apart against the weight of their actions. Clarity doesn't shout. It observes. And observation is the Stoic's greatest defense. Silence reveals what logic already knows. 5. Who told you that? At first, it sounds like a simple question, even reasonable. But beneath that calm tone lies a deeper intention. Control through fear and isolation. When a manipulator asks, "Who told you that?" they're not seeking the truth. They're hunting for the leak. They want to know who's helping you see clearly, so they can shut that person down. It's a classic tactic of emotional control. Sever the lines of support. Because as long as you have perspective, they can't fully control you. So they make you doubt your sources, your allies, and eventually your own perception. They might smile and say, "I just want to know who's spreading lies." But what they really mean is, "I need to know who's breaking my illusion." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them knows the truth." A Stoic doesn't chase gossip or guard secrets. He guards clarity. And that means refusing to be drawn into the manipulator's investigation. Here's how a Stoic stays untouchable when this question comes. Step 1. Recognize the setup. When they ask, "Who told you that?" understand that it's not curiosity, it's control. They want names, details, and angles they can exploit. Seeing that motive in real time disarms its power. Step 2. Don't feed the trap. You don't owe anyone your sources. A calm, neutral response like, "That doesn't matter. I'm focusing on the situation, not the messenger," stops their game instantly. It keeps the attention where it belongs, on their behavior, not your information. Step 3. Observe the reaction. Watch closely. Do they get defensive, angry, try to guilt you for not answering? That tells you everything. A truthful person welcomes clarity. A manipulator panics when the spotlight stays on them. Step 4. Protect your network. Manipulators thrive by isolating you. They'll subtly discredit anyone who gives you perspective. That person's just jealous, or they're trying to turn you against me. A Stoic sees through that. You don't isolate yourself for someone who fears the truth. You strengthen connections with people who challenge your blindness. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish." To the manipulator, holding boundaries may make you seem cold or secretive. So be it. Your peace is not a group project, and your clarity doesn't need validation. When they press again, "Come on, tell me who said that." Smile faintly and respond. The source isn't the problem, the behavior is. Then stop talking. No matter how they press, you stay silent, steady, and centered. Because every extra word becomes material for their next attack. And Stoic mastery is knowing when to withdraw your energy completely. Remember, truth stands alone. It doesn't require permission, proof, or witnesses. When you stop feeding their curiosity, their web collapses under its own weight. A liar can't manipulate a person who refuses to explain. A Stoic simply stands firm in reality and lets deception expose itself. Truth doesn't fear sunlight. 6. Do you really think I'd hurt you? When a manipulator feels their mask slipping, they reach for this line. Soft, dramatic, drenched in false innocence. Do you really think I'd hurt you? It's not a question. It's an emotional sedative. They want to flip the story from their behavior to your doubt. Now, you're no longer the person who was hurt. You're the one who misjudged them. You start defending their character instead of protecting your boundaries, and that's the moment they win. This is how emotional predators survive. Not by logic, but by guilt. They weaponize empathy against you, because they know that if they can make you feel cruel for noticing the truth, you'll silence yourself to keep the peace. But peace built on denial is not peace, it's captivity. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Marcus Aurelius said, "The truth never harms a just cause." So if the truth hurts someone, it's because they were hiding behind illusion. A Stoic doesn't avoid the truth to keep relationships comfortable. He faces it to keep his soul clean. Here's how you reclaim your strength when they use this tactic. Step 1. Hear what's not being said. When someone says, "Do you really think I'd hurt you?" what they're actually saying is, "I'm uncomfortable being held accountable." Recognizing that unspoken message keeps you from falling for the performance. Step 2. Separate intention from impact. Maybe they didn't mean to hurt you. Maybe they did. But Stoicism focuses on reality, not speculation. Calmly acknowledge what happened without debating motives. I'm not judging intention. I'm describing impact. That single line ends their emotional play and centers the truth. Step 3. Refuse the guilt trade. A manipulator will often act wounded. "I can't believe you'd think that of me." Don't take the bait. Your boundaries are not accusations. They are facts. You can say, "I'm not attacking you, I'm protecting myself," and then go silent. Guilt fades fast when it's met with calm certainty. Step 4. Watch the patterns. Anyone can say sorry once. But the Stoic studies repetition. When apologies multiply and actions stay the same, the answer is clear. They never intended to change, only to reset control. Seneca wrote, "He who is injured ought not to forget, unless he forgives." Forgiveness is strength. Forgetfulness is vulnerability. You can forgive in silence, but you never pretend it didn't happen. Because self-respect isn't bitterness, it's clarity. So when they ask, "Do you really think I'd hurt you?" don't argue, cry, or comfort. Look them calmly in the eye and say, "I don't need to think it. I saw it." That moment of still honesty cuts deeper than any accusation ever could. It tells them the game is over. That emotional fog no longer works on you. And in that clarity, you reclaim your peace, your strength, and your freedom. Because kindness is seen, not declared. 7. Why are you making this such a big deal? This is the manipulator's final move. The last defense when truth corners them. They can't deny what happened anymore, so they do the next best thing. They minimize it. They'll say it softly, maybe with a sigh or a smile that feels more like a slap. Why are you making this such a big deal? Translation: if I can make you feel unreasonable, I won't have to take responsibility. This question is meant to shrink your boundaries, to convince you that your pain is exaggerated and that keeping the peace is more important than keeping your dignity. But Stoicism reminds us, nothing small is small if it violates your principles. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." A Stoic doesn't measure importance by how loud something is, but by how true it is. When they tell you you're making a big deal, what they're really saying is, "Stop holding me accountable." That's why your calm insistence is their biggest threat. Here's how a Stoic keeps power when this line appears. Step 1. Ground yourself in principle. You're not here to argue scale. You're here to protect alignment. Ask yourself, what value of mine is being crossed? If it's honesty, respect, or integrity, that's never small. Write it down if needed. Seeing your boundary in words reminds you it's real. Step 2. Don't argue emotion with emotion. The manipulator wants a reaction: anger, defensiveness, guilt. Instead, breathe. Speak slowly. Say, "It's a big deal because it crosses a line for me." That's calm, not dramatic. Firm, not fragile. You're teaching them, and yourself, that boundaries don't need volume to be valid. Step 3. Stay anchored in facts. When they minimize, redirect. It might not seem big to you, but this behavior repeats. Patterns don't lie. Consistency is clarity. A Stoic deals in evidence, not excuses. Step 4. Refuse the shame bait. They'll roll their eyes, call you too much, or change the subject. Don't chase them, don't explain. Their discomfort isn't your problem to solve. Stoicism teaches, let others wrestle with their conscience. You stay with your character. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Freedom here means the courage to hold the line when others call you difficult. It's refusing to shrink your truth to fit someone else's comfort. So when someone says, "Why are you making this such a big deal?" look them in the eye, steady, calm, unshaken, and answer, "Because it matters to me." That's not drama, that's dignity, and it's the one thing a manipulator can't touch. Because when you honor your truth quietly, the lies lose oxygen, and when you protect your boundaries without rage, you protect your peace without apology. No one gets to decide what should matter to you. Only you do. Boundaries are not overreactions. Manipulators don't always shout, threaten, or insult. Sometimes they simply ask questions, calm, calculated, and poisonous. Each one designed to make you doubt your memory, your emotions, your logic, your truth. But once you see the pattern, you can never unsee it. That's where Stoicism becomes your armor. It doesn't teach you to fight with rage. It teaches you to win with composure. Because the Stoic knows, control isn't about dominating others, it's about mastering your reaction. You can't stop people from lying, twisting, or guilt-tripping, but you can stop giving them access to your peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not just philosophy. That's self-defense for the soul. So the next time someone tries to trap you in confusion, remember, You don't owe explanations. You don't owe guilt. You owe yourself clarity. Because awareness is your shield, reason is your weapon, and calm is your victory. If this message spoke to you, share it. Someone else might be fighting the same invisible war, and comment below to affirm your stance. I choose peace over manipulation. Your silence is not weakness. Your calm is not surrender. It's proof that your mind is your own, and that's something no liar can ever take away.